What's up, guys? I just learned that Jay's middle name is Reddy, which is
It is.
which is
Yeah.
my revolution for today. My revelation, rather. Oh man, welcome to the pre-show, everyone. I know we're a little bit late, but we'll get to things presently.
Yeah. Just taking it steady away today, guys.
Lots of amazing people already in chat too. One drunk man, first as usual, says hands up. Karcha,
Nice.
it's a pleasure. It's been a while, man. Hope you're doing well. Rabbit Sensei says hello, stream. Always a pleasure to have you, Rabbit. Langalandia, the legend himself. The actual legend himself. What's up, man? We got She in chat, Sean's Rob27. This is Penguin Droppings, Petra. This is a collection of amazing people we have today.
Some really good names in here. Yeah. Some names that I miss when I don't see them around, like Petrov and Penguin Droppings and Karcher. It makes
Man,
me feel good to see some
it's
of those
good.
names in chat.
It's nice. It really is.
Except for Langalandia. I mean,
Well,
who the hell wants to see his name? I mean, wow.
that's right.
What's that about?
I don't want to see his name. I want to see him in person again.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
Oh
Do you know
my
it's nearly
god.
2 years since we went for that bacon vodka together in Seattle?
You
Well, not in
can't.
Seattle, but like
Well, that's
when I
close
was
enough.
over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're fine. Is that you can't stop thinking about it, huh? The bacon vodka. That was your
That
American
bad.
experience takeaway.
It was that bad of an experience that I can't stop thinking of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of bacon vodka either. I think it could work in something like a Bloody Mary, maybe in some kind of cocktails, but I, I don't think
See,
I'd
that's
ever
what
just.
Lang keeps trying to convince me, but
Uh,
I'm still not. So,
I don't
I'm
even
still
think
not sold on it.
Americans drink straight bacon vodka. I don't think that's a thing. Oh man, Sour, what's up, man? Subbed at tier 1 for 6 months. Sends a little
Six
heart.
months sour. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, Sour. It's good
Ooh,
to see you, man.
very nice.
Mm. She says, "Oh, Jay, I like your burgundy shirt, dude. Sell me that board. Sell me that board." He knows I want an F1 Atex from Geonworks in all of the colors. I have three of the colors, and one of the colors I don't
Wow.
have is burgundy, and he's just being given priority on one. So
How
yeah,
many how many colors are there?
seven, I think. Seven, from what I'm aware of, apart from like special editions and one-offs and stuff like that. So I have the black one that Gion gave to me personally. He reached out to me once. I have that one, and I sent him a JO2 as well, which was kind of nice. We kind of
Nice, nice.
exchanged. That was good. And then I've picked up a blue one and a silver one since then. But I want an E-white and a burgundy, and I think there's a couple of other colors as well.
Man, you're gonna have 7 of those boards? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. Well,
You're
what I want to, it is such a good board, man. It's a
I
great board.
I've
It's a
heard
fantastic
nothing
keyboard.
but good things. Nothing but amazing things about that board. I've still yet to try one, so I'm still
I I feel like if I get a burgundy one, I should send it to you to
I
build because, like, dude, I want you to try it.
I would love to build one. I mean, it looks like one of the most interesting boards I've ever seen in my life, internally. That is. So I'm really interested to test one out. Rob says, "What's up, guys?" Jane Quakums. What's up, Rob?
The
It's
sky is up.
this. Well, I mean, right now there's a camera above my head, the one I use for build streams, and there's a roof over that.
Yeah, I've got a camera and then a fake ceiling and then nothing but void and for another 100 feet until it hits the roof outside. So,
Nothing but
and then
void.
the sky. Yeah, nothing but void.
Oh man, Lunar Sama subbing tier 1 for 35 months. That's quite a while. Thank you so much, Lunar. It says sexy hair, Brian. Yeah, my hair game's a little whack today. I like I said a couple streams back, I'm actually trying to grow it out, so it's kind of in an awkward stage of not looking very good. But this is kind of what it looked like after I got out of the shower and I brushed all the knots off of it. I brushed my hair back, and this is kind of just what happened, and I decided not to fix it before the stream. So
It looks good. I like it, Brian. I like
it's
it. Like,
it's.
do you want to see my hair? Do you want to see what my hair's like?
I always want to see what your
This
hair is like, Jay.
this is why I'm wearing a hat. Like, I can't hear you now, so
See, I like this. This is Jay at his finest.
like
I
my hair is just
that
stupid
swoop
long.
that swoop on the side is that's lady killer, man. That is sexy.
It's
My
just
gosh.
too long. Like it like constantly drops down and gets in my eyes, and I don't like it like that. Um,
I
this
need
is why the
you
hat is like
I need you to not
imperative.
put your hat back on this stream.
No, the hat's going back on in a second. Like it's all fuzzy on the side, and I haven't brushed. Look at this; it's all like a bright mess. You see all the grey hairs. The hat's going back on.
Press 1 in chat if you want Jay to leave his hat off this stream. And I better see a lot of ones.
Guys, stop it! Stop it! No.
Come on. You look amazing with your hat off.
Jay just said it's not a phase, Mom. Yeah, Lang, it's not my emo phase. No, it's just really long. It's just far too long.
I need you to like make that swoop just go over one of your eyes. That way we can only see one of your eyes, and that'll be even better. Oh my gosh!
Get all my hair out.
This is the best day of my life.
Hold on.
Oh, I'll hold. I'll hold. I need more of this. This is the content I was really hoping for. Mr. Petrov.
Emo Jay, there you go.
Mr. Petrov says keep going, almost finished. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious.
It's in me already. It's in my eyes now.
It's perfect, man. It looks amazing. I wish I could look that good when my hair got long.
Dude, it looks awful. It's greasy and horrible. I've done nothing but wear a hat for like 2 months now, so but these are the Friday streams we're here for, man. Dude. Like no one has seen my hair apart from my wife for like the past month.
This is supposed to be a keyboard stream, and somehow we end up never talking about keyboard stuff.
Yeah, what's a keyboard?
I
mean, I tried talking about the F1 for a little bit, but that soon
true.
Disappeared.
That's true. I mean, I guess we should roll the intro and start this particular stream. Start using starting being a very loose terminology here, as you guys I'm sure will see. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Top Clack. I am Quakums, that's Jay, and we're here for you. And we're hopefully going to have a nice episode today. To be honest with you, we don't really have anything listed on our doc today. We're not really planning to talk about a lot of keyboard stuff. However, if you guys want to, we totally can. I'll be the first to admit I like to be really transparent. I've pretty much done nothing in keyboards for the last 2 weeks. I have no idea what's going on. I've been otherwise engaged with a lot of real life stuff. I went back to work this week actually, and I've been trying to help out some friends with some issues, mental issues. And to be totally honest, I've actually been doing a lot better than I was before, and I'm very happy about that. But unfortunately, a lot of other people haven't. And a lot of those people are in my life as well. And it's been kind of a weird road to see a lot of things, both internally and externally, with myself and my friends and family. But we'll get a little bit more into that. Like the title of the stream suggests, this is kind of a mental health check for all of us. You know, a lot of us spend so much time pushing forward, both in keyboards and in life, and we don't really stop to think about what's going on right now or what has already happened. And I think a lot of that is just the product of society and our environment and the way we've kind of been raised and conditioned. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're going to start today. But of course, like I mentioned, we can get some more into keyboard stuff as well. It's just going to be a very casual stream, like the last one was. Just be chatting with you guys. We'll be paying a lot of attention to chat.
We want you guys to drive the conversation, guys. We want you to push the conversation, ask us what you want to talk about, get chat engaged. We all want to talk together. That's the idea behind these kind of shows, guys, when we don't have a set agenda about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and I know it's not maybe the most exciting for a lot of you. You might be able to watch a much more interesting keyboard stream at the moment. But this is kind of like a family now, and it's cool to talk about keyboards, and that's why we're all here. That's the only reason that Jay and I are doing this, and that's the only reason that we've gotten to where we are, and that's the only reason you guys are probably watching us, to be honest. But there's people behind all of this as well. People with real lives and real feelings, real emotions, and real situations that happen to them, and it's really, really easy to forget that. And I'm hoping that none of you do. And we see a lot of great names in the chat, a lot of people that have been around the community for quite a while, a lot of really genuine and positive people, and that helps a lot. We're glad that you guys are choosing to join us today, even though it might not be the most keyboard related interesting stream of all time. we're glad to have you here. And with that super long-winded kind of intro out of the way, how are you doing, Jay? How are you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm busy. I am incessantly busy. My days do not seem to have an end to them. It seems to be keyboard sleep repeat, keyboard sleep repeat. That seems to be my life right now, which in some ways is good, in some ways is helping me cope with my own troubles and my own foibles. I don't mind sharing that. I was telling Brian just before the show that it's good that I'm busy right now because March is a tough month for me. It's the second anniversary of my mum's death this month, and all of that kind of thing. So there's always stuff affecting people, even if they don't share it or tell you about it. And being busy right now is the right thing for me to be, but that's going to come to an end towards the end of the month, and I'll probably need some time and some space, and just one of those things we have to grow and learn how best to solve our own problems and how best to suit our own needs as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like a lot of you are probably seeing on stream right now, we have just a little note at the bottom of our stream. Some of you might be familiar with the name Mountain Blocks. Some of you maybe have never heard of him. Mountain Blocks was an incredibly genuine and positive guy in our community. He helped a lot of people. He did a lot of cool things. He's responsible for the shirt that I'm wearing right now, this amazingly awesome, comfortable Dolch shirt, as well as several more in my wardrobe. And I'm not going to pretend I was super close to him. We had chatted a lot of times, and he's been watching Top Clack for a long time. He always said nice things. He always supported. Really genuine guy. He was always helping people, and it was just several days ago that we finally got the information that he is no longer with us. He took his own life due to mental health issues, as it were, and it's forced a lot of perspective on me, I guess you could say. I've had a lot of friends growing up that have committed suicide. I've had a lot of family members die as well. And as awful as it sounds, I'm no stranger to being around death. But for some reason, Mountain Block's passing has really hit me a lot harder than I feel like it should have, just because I was not particularly close with him. But it's kind of shown me that in this world that like very few things like actually matter besides human life. And I think about things like work, and I think about things like keyboards, and like it's not like they're bad things, but they're just things. Like they don't have to define people. And I think that we might not value human life as well and as much as we need to. And one thing I do want to say, though, if a lot of you guys in chat right now, I've been around for a while. I think a lot of you have probably heard of and know who Mountain Blocks is. If you have any great memories with him, please post those in the chat. I want to see people talking about him. He's someone I don't ever want to forget, because I think he's done a lot for the community, and he's been a great, genuine guy. And it's sad that he's no longer with us, and it makes me wonder what me or other people maybe could have done to help him or others, before the situation ever escalates to something like that. And it hurts me a lot because I feel like I've never been there for any of my friends until more recently, when I feel like I've actually finally understood a lot of mental issues, because this whole situation is very new to me as well, and I don't have all the answers. I probably never will, if I'm being honest. But people like me and Jay, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there, you can come talk to any of us, and even though we might not always be able to solve your issues, we're always there to talk to. And excuse me. If you guys are ever having issues, like, let us know, and we'll try to do what we can, because this community really is like a family, and that's the only reason I'm still here. And we don't none of us want to ever see people like that leaving the community, right? We never want to see a scenario like this, and it's not really fun for any of us. But I think the takeaway here is, we really need to start doing what we can and helping the people around us, family and friends, both inside and outside the keyboard community, because it's more important now than ever. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, the world is kind of crazy right now, right? A lot of people
Yeah.
are just now only discovering kind of who they are and what they want out of life. And we've seen that both politically and mentally and otherwise in the world lately, because there's just so much going on, and it's a really difficult and pivotal time for everyone, honestly. And yeah, I don't even I don't I'm just rambling here at this point, I guess. But
It's fine, dude.
it's
It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're just sharing your feelings, and there's nothing more honest than doing that, and that's always nice to hear. There are a couple of nice things in chat. Sour says he was shocked and heartbroken by the news that Mike, Mountain Block's Mike, was always so nice and positive. Mr. Petrov as well said Mountain's name was Mike, and I had the chance to meet him a half a dozen times in person as he lived in Portland, like Mr. Petrov does. And he says his abiding memory of him was that he was always smiling. He doesn't ever recall him not smiling. That's really nice, man. I'm really glad that that's how you have the memory of Mike, of Mountain Blocks. I never met him in person, but I spoke to him a few times. We talked about doing some T-shirts and things like that. And do you know, like I think someone mentioned
we
it
even
was
have
August last year
with
when he
him.
went missing. It was literally like June, July time when I was last talking to him about stuff like that. And the, part of me wonders why I didn't just ask him, "You okay, man? How you doing?" Instead of just talking about T-shirts. Like, why didn't I just say that?
And that's the thing, right? I feel like whenever we like talk to people like this, things like mental health, they're never the first thing on our mind, right? It's almost always something else, and it's just because like that's just how we've always done it. And I feel like now we really need to start changing that. And I've been really trying to start checking in with like a lot of people in the community, a lot of friends and family members, just
Sure.
letting people know that like people are there for them, whether it's me or someone else. I think everyone
I
in
just want
here
to
is
give,
capable of helping others here.
for sure. I just want to give Lang a shout out
Yeah.
because
Yes.
he's the king of that kind of activity. I don't know if it's the same for you, Brian, but
Yeah.
every now and again I'll wake up and there'll be a message from Lang, and it'll just be a heart or a how you doing, or just some no keyboard related or business related content. It's just literally a message. How is my friend doing? Is what the subtext is, and that sometimes it just makes my day. It sets my day off in the right way.
It's huge. It's
So
huge.
I'm Lang is leading by example, and I try and emulate Lang to other people as well. And I don't do it often enough, but I should do it more. And this has really brought that to the forefront of how I feel about stuff, that I should do that more and spend more time on the personable side of stuff. It doesn't always have to be about getting the right answer or getting the next question asked. It could just be about seeing how people are.
Yeah, completely. And one thing I kind of want to just start out by saying here is, think about the kind of person that you want to be throughout your life, because I think right now is kind of the defining moment for a lot of people, myself included. And I think figuring out how you want to move forward in the world, I think is a really big deal. And there's a lot of stigma around mental health, right? A lot of people are just afraid to ask for help because they're seen as weak. Everyone should be able to deal with their problems. You should, you're supposed to be successful and, only move forward and work and all this stuff and be happy. And it's never that simple. And I'm sure, as a lot of you know, it's never that simple. Unfortunately, I wish it were. But sadly, that's just not the case for everyone. So don't be afraid to ask for help. You're not weak because you need help. Humans at our core, we're social creatures, and being alone doesn't really help. And I realize that now. I always thought that like I was better off without anyone else, and I should just block out everyone in my life because I had my stuff handled and I knew what's best for me and all this stuff, and I was fooling myself. I was completely fooling myself for so many years, and it's only been in the last year or less actually that I finally realized that now. And yeah, so really important to get help, whether it's medically or otherwise. I think there are a lot of people that need help, and I think there are a lot of people out there that can help, even if it feels like you can do nothing, but just being there for someone, being a shoulder to cry on, being someone just to offer basic advice, or just even someone to just bullshit with, even if you're not even talking about the topic at hand, even if you just want to talk about keyboards or something. And I've really tried to make, and admittedly I haven't done the best job at it, but I've really tried to make Top Clack in particular a place where people can come and feel welcome, whether it's in the stream or in the Discord. And I want that to be a safe spot for people to come and feel like they can be themselves and not have to worry about what other people think about them, because the keyboard community is ruthless right now, man. There's so much
People
drama
get judged for
and so much
everything.
hostility.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It seems like every thread I open up, there's so many people just making fun of other people, or just completely shitting on their design or their passion. And we even see death threats like almost regularly in the community these days. It's so not who we need to be, and probably not even who we are, honestly. And I think that whether we're starting big or small, whether we're just starting in the keyboard community, whether it's just your own personal life, I think starting to make changes for the better can really have a resounding effect on other people throughout your community. And that's something I really, really, really want to work towards, and something I'm really looking forward to streaming about in the near future. I want to do a mental health stream where we can donate some money to charity, and we can maybe raise some money for charity, and just have a good time.
We should reach out to Mintley and Alex Autos, because I know they're doing the same one that they did last year again as well. So we should reach out to them and see if we can help in some way and have that conversation, because I think that's fairly close to happening as well. I know I was speaking to Penguin Droppings about it and donating some stuff to that. So we definitely want to get involved more in that, and we should do as well. So I'll have some conversations and loop you and Brian, and we'll try and pick that up.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be a good time. I know we had Minterly on the show. It was probably 3, 4, maybe 5 months back now, around there.
Oh man, it's longer than that. It was like
really
June last year. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
Like...
I honestly cannot remember, but yeah, we had Minterly on, and it was an awesome episode. And like you were talking about, Minterly and Alex Sotos both did mental health streams, and it's something they struggle with, and it's something they're very open and vocal about. And I want to be like that as well. And they put together an amazing event for I believe it was Mental Health America. They raised a lot of money for them. It was a really, really awesome event. I caught a lot of it. Really good time, really great info, and a lot of wholesomeness. And it was super amazing. Absolutely loved it. And that's something that we want to do as well. Now that it's much more nearer and dearer to our hearts.
100%. Yeah, Penguin Droppings is in chat. So Penguin Droppings, just drop me a message. Let me know what I need to do to get involved. I know you have your ear close to the ground on that one. I just checked, Brian. It was August when we had the conversation mentally, so it was like 7 months ago now.
It's been that long.
Yeah, 7 months ago.
It feels like it's only been like a couple.
I know, right? I know.
Time over the last year, time has become like totally ridiculous to me. Like sometimes it just feels like it's going so slow, and sometimes it feels like it's going so fast, and it's hard to remember exactly when things are. We've been quarantined, isolated for so long.
Just going back up chat as well, I just want to drag out something that Sean said. So Sean's asked a question. This is probably about 20 minutes ago now. He said, there has been a lot of anxiety around me lately, and because of my virtual environment I'm still stuck in, it's gotten to the point where I haven't done any work for weeks and start throwing up due to the sheer tension around me. How do you guys cope and try to turn the days more efficient and more productive? My only sense to this is the first day you take a step to change something of your own behavior, that's the first day you're starting to improve yourself. It doesn't matter what that step is. That step could be, for some people, get out of bed or put on a clean pair of pants or whatever it is. Just work out what your first step is and do that repeatedly. Trying to become more efficient and more productive, don't worry about those until you're feeling good about yourself. The key to both of them is setting yourself into a routine and following through that and keeping the routine going. And that's good for your mental health as well a lot of the time, because routine is, we are creatures of habit and we like that. And then throwing in the occasional kind of thing that takes you out of that routine is good as well. But my big point about that is just do one thing every day that you can tick off the box and say, I've done something today, I've been productive, whether it's as simple as changing your underwear or putting some rubbish in the bin or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Just make sure that you can do one thing each day that makes you feel like you've been productive.
Yeah, and I fully confirm that too, because that's how exactly it was for me. For weeks I was just basically holed up in my room in the dark, in bed. I was throwing up every single morning from stress. I wasn't eating. I lost like 60 pounds in like 2.5 months or something like that. It was outrageous. And taking the first step really is like the biggest, but also most difficult part. But even if it is something small, like making sure you're showering every day, or you're brushing your teeth, or even like just getting out of bed and going for like a 5-minute walk, or 10-minute walk, or 30-minute walk, whatever you
Yeah.
can, whatever you're able to accomplish. There's a lot of things that can help in just trying to set yourself up for good habits, even if it's just something tiny, like again just taking a shower or brushing your teeth or whatever. These small like
Yeah.
1% differences, they start to kind of build this compounding aggregate of betterness for you.
Accumulate.
And once you kind of
Accumulate.
start getting into the routine of bettering yourself via a shower every day, for example, like it's much easier to start bringing in other small things that will help a lot. And then it's not a short easy road. I'm not going to claim it is, but it's much more manageable if you can kind of get into these habits of self betterment. And
100%. And don't let anyone else tell you that your thing that you've done today is unproductive. Don't listen to anyone that tells you that brushing your teeth or taking a shower is unproductive. If you found it useful to you to do that and it helped you feel even a tiny bit better, you keep doing you.
Yeah, completely. Sean says, love the answers, guys. I think the task is going to be making my bed, recommended by the great Max F. Nice. Max F's a great guy.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like that too. Cleaning and organizing make me feel a lot better. And if I'm in like a clean room and I'm clean, I've showered, I feel like a better version of myself. And this is actually something that you guys are probably going to be hearing from me in the near future on a podcast I did with Vogon, his podcast, The Thought. We talked a lot about mental health as well. But exercising, man, exercising is... It was actually a night and day difference for me. It got to the point where I was walking about half an hour every day. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't lifting weights. I wasn't, marathon swimming or anything. It was just casually walking for 30 minutes a day around my apartment complex before I moved, and it was actually a very, very big difference. I felt so much better every day because of that.
Did you walk to the fantasy coffee place that I walked to when I stayed at that old place of yours?
I would never go there because their coffee's terrible.
It was terrible coffee.
It's like known as like the worst coffee around. I wish you would have asked me
Yeah.
before you walked there.
You were asleep. I wasn't going to wake you up. You were asleep.
I would have preferred if you woke me up, just so I know that you would have had better coffee. I would have felt better about it. Coinstorm says the start of a journey. Yeah, the starting is always the hardest part. I promise. It really, really is. It does get easier.
Agree. Yeah.
Sean Paul says, I've always felt welcome here at Top Clack, whether it's Twitch or Discord. That's awesome, man. That's like, that is the biggest and best compliment I think I could ever receive, as someone behind like Top Clack, right? Like, it's not always like a, hey, you're doing a great job, or hey, I really appreciated your opinion on this. Like, that's nice and all, but like when people actually feel welcome and comfortable, that's the big difference for me. That's what I want to hear.
He also comes back and says, making my bed and walking has really boosted my mood in the last month. It's really simple, but give me a sense of progress, but also a break from the thoughts at work. Yeah, 100%, man. Just relaxing and just taking in a bit of nature and a bit of sunlight is always a good thing. My two things that I do, and this is what I've tried to use over the past year, is walking the dog in the morning before I come to the workshop. Get up, walk the dog, take her out for half an hour. She's happy. That makes me happy because the dog's happy. And then the other thing that I do is when I'm starting work, I write a to-do list every morning. So I literally write out just a quick bullet point for every single thing I need to do, and that just helps me shape my thoughts and make sure that I've got the right things prioritized. Because what I do is I'll write the list out, doesn't matter what order I write it in, and then I'll just write 1, 2, and 3 next to the top 3 things I have to do that day. And as long as I get those 3 things done, then that's fine. Everything else can wait if I don't manage to get around to it. That's the other thing that I like to do as well.
Yeah, and everyone's different too, right? I mean, try to do what you're capable of. Don't feel like you need to force yourself to just work so much and so hard, right? You can take things at your own pace. Everyone's different. What works for one person might not necessarily work for the other. But the first step is really just kind of admitting and realizing that you do need to make changes, that you do need help on some level, and taking that first step. That's the hardest part of the journey, but it's the essential part of the journey. Archangel says, "Don't forget about the physical aspect too. The mind and the body are one. So exercise is literally just getting some sunlight on your skin can make a world of difference." Yeah, I mean we need those vitamins. It may seem silly, but like we actually need the sunlight as organic beings. That's a big difference. Vitamin D, big difference. I've been taking multivitamins every day as well. That's been helping. But I still try to get out and get some sunlight as well on my walks. Taking in some nature, fresh air, sunlight, being on the water. My gosh, it's really, really serene. I'm lucky to live where I am because I have access to so many areas of amazing like waterfront, as well as forest and all these parks and trails that I can go down.
I have to be honest, man. When I was over there a couple of years ago, it was the most beautiful place I've ever been on the world.
It's amazing.
The whole Puget Sound, the Mount Rainier in the background, and man, some of the views, like even just driving around in the car, it was just awe-inspiring. It's such a beautiful place where you live.
Yeah, and which is probably one of the main reasons I haven't actually left this place. Yeah. It's just it's home. Sean says, "This community has been nearly one of the best things in my life. The hospitality from everyone makes it so much better and truly made me a better person." That's awesome. That's amazing. If you can come away from this community, a better person, I think that's a really big deal.
That's huge. That's massive. Yeah, that's absolutely huge.
Petrov says, "I have one small thing that helps me too, even though it seems weird. After you brush your teeth in the mirror, just look at yourself in the mirror and smile for 5 seconds. That's it. Just smile at yourself in the mirror." Yeah, totally, man. That was...
I feel like Petrov does it for longer than 5 seconds. He just doesn't want to tell us that.
I feel like Petrov... Actually, I think I know that Petrov also probably says something like, "Fuck yeah, I'm the man." And as silly as that sounds, it's like totally helpful too. Like,
yeah,
you gotta like retrain your brain to know that you're the amazing person that you are, right? Like, don't just let yourself defeat yourself.
I'm not reading that one out, Petrov.
I'm not reading that one out.
Sure. Okay. I'm not sure I could do that. You are a very talented man if you can do that.
No, we're not gonna read that one.
No, we're not gonna read it. No.
Octagon, thank you so much for the tier 1, 17 months, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you, man. 17 months, that's huge. 17 months is a massive amount of time.
It is. Wouldn't expect anything more from Petrov. I would expect anything different from Petrov.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Like, Petrov can tell me these things, and it doesn't surprise me about him at all.
But Petrov's also an amazing and genuine guy too. He's also another person that I feel like lately has been reaching out and asking how people are doing, which is awesome too. We like to think of Petrov as kind of a beaver, but he's got a good heart despite that meme facade he puts up.
100%.
But yeah, guys, let us know your stories. Let us know how things are going for you. And again, if you have any awesome stories about mountain blocks or you had any good interactions with them, let us know as well, because we definitely want to have some good memories of them, like we already do, but everyone else should as well.
100%. Yeah, we absolutely need to do that. Hugo mentions that he got home yesterday from a 3-day hike in the mountains of Norway. Amazing. After COVID, I've gotten into being outside and hiking a lot, and it's helped both my mental and physical health a lot. Dude, being in Norway sounds amazing.
That sounds great. Yeah.
But hiking in Norway, wow, that sounds like a dream come true for me.
I think Norway, if I had to move, Norway would probably be the one place I would move to permanently.
Yeah, we need to arrange a trip there as well, Brian. We need to have a trip there.
Yes, we do. I completely agree. I'm not jealous, you are, says Cornstorm. Also, I want to...
Petrov wants to hike Norway as well. Let's do it. Top Clack's post-COVID Norway hike. We should absolutely do that.
That sounds awesome, honestly. Quick shout out
we could arrange 5 or 6 of us. That'd be amazing.
Homunculus Greed hosted us earlier with some viewers, so we appreciate that, man. I forgot to shout that out earlier when you did that.
Oh, nice. Thanks, man.
Appreciate that, friend.
Nice. He's a good guy. I've watched him stream a few times. He's a nice guy.
Nice. I'm not familiar with him. I need to check him out.
Kimchi Jody Boy says party in Norway. Woo. Yeah, we should do it. We should do it. We could do a few things. Norway is amazing. And it's a huge country comparative to the UK at least anyway. And there's a lot of things to explore over there. So we could absolutely do that.
It's also kind of thought of as the kind of like the happiest place on earth, right? Like,
yeah,
like their citizens are just like the happiest people.
Yeah, it's got one of the highest tax rates from what I understand, but also one of the highest happiness rates. But I guess people don't mind paying taxes when everything is amazing,
when everyone's life is better.
Norway, right?
Yeah. Sean says he's got to head out for a bit. Hopefully we'll be able to come back towards the end of the stream. All right, have a good one, man. Hope to see you again, whether you come back today or not.
Yeah. Captain says, I've started going outside more after a rough Christmas struck Jen, where my parents both had COVID, and started going on runs almost daily, and I can say it's helped so much. Just started running to lose this dad bod, but let's not focus on that. Dude, I have a dad bod too. I completely understand that. But as long as you're happy, that's the main thing.
What comes after the dad bod? I have whatever like the next step is in that evolution.
Yeah. Yeah, the granddad.
I think it's just called fat. I think it's just called fat. Oh man, Kimchi Jody Boy says everyone's life is amazing. Holy, what a mood. Could use a fraction of that in America. I know, right? I know. There's a lot of darkness in the world right now, but there's definitely some light as well. Just gotta find it,
100%. Yeah. Dad bod 2. Wow.
the daddening. That's pretty good, actually. Dad bod 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
The Pokemon Kid says, "Hi guys, how's everyone doing? Brian, loving the quiff. We're doing all right. We're just kind of reminiscing and talking about some positivity and some mental health. Hopefully, you're doing good as well. Is the quiff? Is this the quiff? My hair? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, he spelled quiff wrong because it's supposed to be spelled like COIFFE, right? Quoif, rather than quiff. But yeah, he's that's what he's referring to, your hair.
Fair enough. It's totally not intentional. It's just a weird stage of growing my hair.
My emo-ness.
I'm proud of you, Jay. You still haven't put your hat back on. This is
I really want to put my hat back on.
This is what chat wanted, though. They wanted the hat off.
I know, chat voted for it, so my hair will stay out for a little bit longer at the very least.
You can always trust chat.
Tasty. 500 quiff bits, yeah.
Thank you so much, man. He also says hi, gents. Hoping you're doing well,
Thanks,
Jay.
Thanks, man.
It's a pleasure to have you
here. Emo jailer. Keyboard's on a phase, mom. Yeah. My Chemical Romance gig at 10 p.m.
Oh my god. That's amazing. I love that.
Are they even still around? I don't know.
Probably
not. My Chemical Romance joke has gone too far. That's taken it one step too far.
No, don't do it, Jay. Come on. You gotta leave the hat off. Oh, okay.
There we go. I won't put the hat on, but I'm just getting the hair out of my eyes. This is more like how I usually have it.
All right. Well, look, I kind of liked the more emo phase, Jay, personally, but I'll settle for this.
All down here, so I have to get rid of it.
Penguin Dropping says they did a reunion. Apparently they did a reunion. Interesting. I used to listen to My Chemical Romance when I was in high school or junior high. Forgot when that was.
Sure. Yeah, it was a little bit late for me. I think they came out a little bit after I'd left college and everything else.
Static Age says joining late, better late than never. Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining. Anyone that's here. I know we again haven't really talked much about keyboards this stream. We've kind of, if you're just joining us recently, we've kind of just been doing a couple things, talking about mental health, remembering an amazing community member, Mountain Blocks, and just telling each other some stories and reminiscing and just kind of casually relaxing and hanging out. And I think it's good to take breaks. I know a lot of you are probably very busy in your lives, and sometimes you just need a break instead of being fed a bunch of information.
Yeah, just need to chill out, relax, and take it easy for a little bit of time. It's good. It's good food for the soul. Is taking it easy.
Yeah. Kimchi Chody Boy says Black Parade was a banger. Black Parade really is a banger. I actually heard that song on the radio not too long ago.
I vaguely know that one. I think I vaguely know that one.
After the stream, you should keep your hat off, put the hair back in your eye, and listen to some My Chemical Romance.
Maybe we'll see.
Static Age says, so sad to hear about Mountain Blocks. I have an MB17 on my desk right now. In fact,
Oh,
lost.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
shout
forgot
out
he
to
did
Mountain
that.
Blocks.
The MP17.
He was a good man. He helped a lot of people and did a lot of great things in the community.
Yeah, as I say, I still have like 4 or 5 different t-shirts from him, and yeah, I'm wearing the Dolce one like you are right now underneath my shirt. So
yeah, and we had the collaboration shirt with him too, didn't we? The
yes, we did. Yeah, the say the thing.
I always
yeah,
forget
say
it.
the thing. Send the money. Click the button or whatever it was. Yeah, I can't remember now, but yeah,
Do
God,
the
that was a long
things.
time ago. That was like 2
Click
years.
the button, send the money. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
do the thing, click the button, send the money. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, Kaja has one. Nice Kaja. Yeah.
It's hard to think about, right? Because like our experiences with Mountain Blocks, they've been amazing, right? They've been so positive and so genuine, and it's hard to think that someone like that was going through what he was going through, and that drove him to the point of taking his own life. And it's hard to think about that because when we have these interactions with people, we have this opinion of them, and we have this thought that hey, this guy is always positive, he must be really happy, but that's not always the case. And sometimes the people that, it's super cliche, I know, but sometimes the people that seem to be shining the brightest are also going through the most shit and turmoil in their life. And that sometimes they're the people that need the help most. And I think a lot of us want and need to be the kind of people that help those others. Do the thing, click the button, send the money. Thank you. That's what it is. I just wore that shirt like 3 days ago too, and I never remember the order of it. The Ghost of You, that's another banger. Do click send.
Do click send. Yeah, we should. Oh man, I'm remembering that really makes me happy. Like just remembering him making those shirts for us and stuff like that. It was like a cool memory.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah. The best part about that shirt is actually the logo on the back, because it has it's Top Clack X Mountain Blocks. And that is awesome. And I'm always going to have that shirt just to remember that. Curious Yellow says you can leave your hat on. No, don't let him get off easy, man. He's got to keep his hat on.
The hat's here. The hat's here. I've gone back to my old hat today. My old green hat. This is really old. I've had this like 20 years, but it's my most comfortable hat.
Oh man, that's awesome. So yeah, guys, what's going on, guys? Let us know. We, aside from what we've already been talking about, there wasn't a whole lot of purpose to today's stream. So let us know kind of what's going on in your lives, guys. Do you have any positive stories, anything wholesome going on? Let us know. There's a lot of shit going on in the world right now.
Ask us anything you like. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on with you. How have you been finding going back to work, Brian? Because I know you've been off work for quite some time now with COVID and everything. How have you found that?
It hasn't been too bad. It's been a little difficult physically, just because I never thought about how like actually physically demanding my job is, because like you wouldn't really think about it. I'm just I'm a card dealer. I stand at a table and I move my arms around. But in reality, there's a lot of really like minute movements you have to do a good job, and a lot of it is shifting your weight from one leg to the other, back and forth every, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 seconds. Over the course of 9 hours, that really starts to add up. And I'm a big guy. I weigh a lot, and it's very difficult on my lower body. My joints, my knees, my ankles have really been in distress lately, and I need to start losing weight. I've been dieting the last couple days pretty hard, and so I'm very sore right now, because I never really appreciated, I guess, how much physicality my job entailed.
Interestingly, Brian, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I like to collect card decks, like special limited edition ones, and like sets of versions of cards that run on Kickstarter and things like that. But one of the things that I'd really like is getting the huge uncut sheets of playing cards, and then I like to frame them. So in my office at home, I've got like 7 or 8 of these framed on the wall. I actually got another one in this week. But yeah, I'd like to collect packs of different playing cards with different imagery on them randomly.
Interesting. I had no idea. It's funny because like I do this as a job, but to be honest, I have very little interest in it. Like
Right.
I don't gamble. Like I work at a casino and I have since I was 18, but like I don't really gamble anymore. I was really into poker for a while, and I guess to some extent I still am because poker is a very interesting game. Um, but yeah, aside from that, I'm not a gambler. I don't really care about cards or anything. It's always just been a job, a means to make money. Unfortunately, Oopsie says Brian needs to show off some card tricks. I could probably show you some card tricks. I don't actually have any cards. I do not own a deck of cards.
I will send you some really nice cards, Brian, in the next package I send you.
Nice.
I'll send you some really nice playing cards. But I mean, like by tricks, do you mean like magic tricks, or do you mean like the whole card shuffling, riffling, and kind of dealing kind of stuff? Like
Not
like
magic tricks.
handling or magic?
I'm well. I mean, I'm really good at handling both cards and chips, just because I've been doing it for so long, and I've just seemed to always have an affinity for that kind of thing. But not magic tricks. I've never learned or done any card magic tricks. It's just more I'm very comfortable with having cards and chips in my hands, so I can
Sure.
I'm very fluent in that kind of language, I guess, as it were.
See, I'm not like the best trick I ever learned. I used to play a lot of poker. The best trick I ever learned was being able to take 2 stacks side by side and then turn them into
Shuffling
one where
chips,
they
yeah.
layer up individually.
Oh yeah,
That was the only trick I could ever do.
I
That was
can
the
do
only way I could
that.
ever manage.
It's been a long time since I've done it, but I used to be able to do. I used to be able to do that with 4 stacks in each hand simultaneously. Yeah,
No.
yeah. So I might have chips around here somewhere. I just don't know where they are. I could probably when I find them, I'll try to show you guys.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you do the roll between fingers where it's like a
Oh yeah,
coin, you roll it across
yeah,
your knuckles?
yeah, yeah. I
I
can
can't
also
do
do
that.
one where you have 3. It's. I really need to find these chips so I can explain what I'm doing better. But like, there's another trick where you kind of you have 3 chips in your hand. And you kind of claw it, and you move the middle chip out, spin it, and then put it back in. Like without moving the 2 outside chips. It's pretty cool.
What?
Yeah. There's a lot. Like I've spent so many hours just sitting at like poker tables with chips in my hands. So like when you play poker, I don't know if you're like super familiar with Poker Jay or anyone in chat, but when you play poker, it's a very long, arduous game. Like you're not doing something every hand. You're spending most of your hands folding your cards and then just playing with chips while you watch the game. That's how you spend like 95% of your hands.
90%. Yeah,
Yeah, like I play it. I mean, things can kind of change depending on like the specific type of game you're playing, the people at the table, like how everyone's acting and how the betting's working and things like that. But most of the time, you only actually play one out of every maybe 20 hands. So you spend a lot of time just learning new tricks with your hands and just getting comfortable with chips and stuff. So I'll try to find some chips, and we'll see if I can still do some cool stuff.
I'll send you a nice deck of cards. I've got a few really nice decks of cards that I can definitely send your way. Speaking of which, did you get the last package I sent you? Because you never mentioned whether you got that in or not.
Oh yes, the one for
Excellent.
yeah, yes, I did. The one for the dual build stream we have upcoming, plus the
Yes.
awesome set of GMK bleached. Looking forward to that. It's gonna be good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to be a good stream. The dual Dollinger build stream. So we did the dual Tind build stream a couple of weeks ago. Well, maybe a month ago now.
Yeah.
But coming towards the end of this month, we're going to do a dual Dollinger build stream where Brian's going to build a E-White Dollinger and I'm going to build a polycarbonate Dollinger.
Yeah, I'm still so bummed about that Tind build stream because that stream was actually amazing. I had so much fun. We had Leandrin on. There was tons of amazing information. But the VOD was just lost to the abyss because whether it was Twitch or Streamlabs just decided they didn't want to fully work that day, and the VOD suffered because of it, unfortunately. And I'm really sad about that because if there was going to be a VOD to keep, that would have been one of them. So kind of bummed about
100%.
that, you gotta move forward, I suppose.
Yeah. Sour comes back in. He's got a story about mounting blocks. He said working with mounting blocks on the archaic MX design was an amazing experience. He worked so hard to help realize the vision, provided some ridiculous product shots of the samples, screen printed the orders by hand, and then individually shipped out all the orders. He was a top-notch man and just a wonderful person, going above and beyond with anything he could. Man, that's so nice to hear. Like, I have 2 of those shirts. He did. When I bought them, I bought 2 burgundy ones, and I just happened to mention to him just in passing that my wife wanted a green one to wear as like a comfortable top around the house and stuff like that. And like, you know, she was a little bit bummed that there was no green one, and he said, "Oh yeah, really sorry about that. Maybe next time I can arrange a green one." The package turned up, and he'd found just a single green T-shirt and put the logo on it. So my wife now has a 1 of 1 green T-shirt that was never made in, just because I mentioned it in passing that she'd like a green one if he ever ran it again. That's how nice he was.
That's the kind of guy
he was such a good guy.
Mountain Blocks was, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, the archaic shirt and the other ones that he's worked on, the Dolce one, these are my favorite shirts I've ever owned. They just are. They're the most comfortable. You know, they're not overly designed or anything. It's just awesome stuff, and I'm very thankful to own stuff that he was involved in. Teal Technic, thank you so much for the tier 1 16 months. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. I need to reach out to you as well. I was supposed to get back to you a long time ago about something, but I don't have an excuse. My life is ridiculous.
Hugh and Killers Greet says, thank you guys, by the way. I just built my all over endgame TKL on the stream, the Matrix 1.2 OG. Nice. That board is really, really nice. I built one maybe 18 months ago now, and it is still, that board sounded so much better than I expected it to. I was a huge fan of the Matrix 1.2. It's a really good board.
Nice. The Pokemon Kid says...
Pokemon Kid, yeah, go on. Yeah,
I can do all the tricks you're saying about. I used to be able to do chip pop off the table. I could ping it across the whole table. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I'm always interested to see. I do want to get back into playing poker. I miss playing poker. That was always a real fun hobby.
I used to play a lot, and then it's maybe... Well, it must be nearly 12 years since I last played poker properly, but I used to play a lot. Not like in casinos or anything, but at friends' houses and stuff like that. Every Friday we used to play poker, just for loose change, not for like massive amounts of money. But yeah, I used to play a lot, and I do miss that. It was good fun. A few beers, bit of poker. That was good fun. Good times.
Yeah, definitely. I used to play a lot online, and I was actually doing really well. I was saving up quite a bankroll by playing online, and then about a year later they decided it was illegal to gamble online in my state, and so I was like, oh
really?
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you can't actually, I don't know, I think only 1 or 2 states in America it's still okay to gamble online.
Wow.
It might not even be.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, it all happened like really quickly. But yeah, there used to be tons of online poker sites that you could put money into, and you play with real money against other people with real money. And that was awesome. I loved doing that. And then, it became illegal, and I was like, well, that sucks. And then they shut down all the sites. So, well, not necessarily shut down, but they wouldn't allow people in specific regions to play because obviously it was illegal, and they don't want to get in trouble. So I haven't been able to do that since, and that's kind of a bummer because that was a lot of fun.
Just reading here, Michigan and New Jersey are apparently the only 2 places where you can play casino games online legally.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Captai says you should record while streaming if possible. I should. I might have enough computational resources for that. The only reason we don't do that is because we've never needed to. We've always just been able to export the VOD from Twitch to YouTube. Really simple. Twitch lets you do it natively. It's like a 2-click process, super duper easy. So I've never really needed to have a video recorded. But apparently, I guess lesson learned because this is the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's actually just looking. Actually, I exported a video earlier on. It was telling me that it wasn't working, but it looks like it was. So it's 2-click process, but it looks like it's exported my Alex 40 build like 4 times to YouTube. So you might need to fix that after the stream, Brian.
All right, we'll figure that out. It's all just a shit show, but that's okay. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. Oh man. Curious Yellow says you didn't run out of money in Bangkok sometime in 2005, did you? I've never been to Thailand, and I was also 16 in 2005. Some states have started allowing it again. Really?
Interesting.
Black Friday because of Full Tilt Poker. Full Tilt was one of the places I used to play at. Just use a VPN and Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't want to be the guy breaking the law there. Unfortunately, I do think that gambling, voluntary gambling should be completely legal in America. But maybe that's just because I am a poker player. I hope it does become a thing again. I would love.
I didn't even realize it wasn't legal. Like I had no idea it wasn't legal in the US. That just didn't even compute to me. Like, you guys have so many casinos and things over there,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize that online gambling wasn't legal. Yeah, because it's fine here. Like in the UK, you can gamble online as long as you're above the age of consent. You can gamble online without an issue.
Yeah, maybe I should move. Maybe I should just move and try to become a professional poker player like I did once upon a time. Because at one point I stopped working and I was just playing poker for like 6 months, and it was pretty fun actually. I really missed that.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I was never good enough to play professionally. I played online a little bit and stuff like that, but yeah, just mediocre at best. But it was always good fun, and especially when we used to go around to friends' houses and play around there and have a few beers and stuff. That was always good fun.
Yeah,
always
definitely.
good fun. It was a long time before I got into keyboard, so.
Same. Pio says, I dig the hair on display here today. Yeah, we're apparently really trying something different with hair.
I haven't even brushed my hair. It's like literally just from underneath my hat. I did have my hat on earlier on.
I got out of the shower and I brushed my hair back to get the knots out, and this is what happened. Curious Yellow is asking, have you watched Rounders? I have. Rounders is an amazing movie. Have you seen that, Jay?
What? I don't think I've seen that. No, I haven't seen that.
Edward Norton. It's amazing. It's like actually a genuinely fantastic film. You'd like it a lot, Jay. I think you would.
Matt Damon and Edward Norton. Hell yeah, that sounds like my kind of movie.
Yeah, and it's about like a kind of like a genius poker player. It's quite nice.
John Malkovich is in there as well. Gretchen Mol. Wow. Okay, so it's a bit of a Famke Janssen. There's some good people in that film. Okay, I need to. This is going to go on my weekend watch list.
The Pokemon Kid says, "OMG, Jay, it's the go-to poker film." I'd have to agree.
Haven't seen it,
and it has one of my favorite lines in it. I forgot the guy's name because it's been a long time since I've seen it. But at one point he goes, "This is my house, and I'll splash the fucking pot if I want." And I just like whenever I play poker like on a live table, I always like that line always comes back to me, and it's a really good movie. Oh man, sheesh. Yeah, I need to watch it again too. Oh, you know what? You and I should have a little watch party.
Yeah, we should do that. We should definitely do that.
Maybe have a couple.
Let's see if we can arrange something over the next few days. 100% I'm in for that.
Yeah. Have you watched?
I have seen Molly's Game. Yeah. Molly's Game's an interesting one.
Is that one that I need to watch?
Yeah, you should do, because it's an interesting film. It's only a few years old. It's relatively new. If I remember rightly, it's got is it Jessica Chastain in it, I think, who plays the lead character. I'd have to double check it, but it's about how she starts to run really high stakes private poker games and stuff like that, and then she kind of gets like into a load of like legal troubles and stuff like that. And Idris Elba's in it. It's a good film.
Curious Yellow is asking if there's a story to why I gave up poker. Well, I stopped. I never like truly stopped playing poker because I still play here and there, I guess. But I more or less gave it up when it became illegal to do online, in my state, because then that was like a much easier way for me to make money, was doing it online. But obviously I don't want to break the law, so I had to stop. And I've been playing in like limit games that are local to me, but it's hard to make like enough money. And I think I'm a pretty good player, but I'm not a professional. Obviously, I never put enough time into it to become a professional. And if I went to like some of the bigger games that I could actually really make like a living off of, I probably wouldn't fare very well, at least for a while, until I kind of got a better handle on it. So I think it's just something I couldn't do at the time. But if it never became illegal to gamble online in Washington, I think it's a very real possibility that I would still be playing poker today, like as at least like a semi job at some capacity. Because I do miss it. I was a really big. I read lots of books. I spent lots of time playing and practicing. There's a lot of math behind it. I spent so much time just watching it. It's a real cool thing.
Yeah, the amount of math involved in poker games and other card games as well, like blackjack, is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you spend the entire thing about poker is like you're not even playing the cards, right? Like you're playing people, and like you're reading people, and you're like calculating all these like different math equations in your head to like figuring out like implied odds and pot equity and like all these like different values. And there are tricks to like be able to do the math in your head a little bit faster, like the rule of 2-4, and stuff like that. But like it's difficult. Like if you want to actually be a higher level player, like there's so much stuff you have to think about while the game's going, and like so little of it matters to like what cards you have, which is also one of the things that makes poker so fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the ways of not counting cards as such, but kind of like keeping tabs on where the game's going and what the pot value and equity is and stuff like that. It's not easy stuff. But taking it to the real world, have you ever caught someone counting cards or using some of these tricks to try and profit off of the house in your day job?
Yeah, so that's a bit. Yes, I've found people counting cards. Yes, that's the answer to that. But obviously, counting cards is that's like a blackjack thing that has nothing to do with poker.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, it's really obvious when someone is trying to count cards, especially if they're not comfortable with it, because like they just cannot. Like they're trying so hard to focus on it, they just like lose sight of everything else, and it becomes really obvious what they're thinking about. And the way you usually handle that is you just start dumping information into them. I'll say everything. I'll not stop talking. I'll just keep saying all these numbers, and they can't process like what they're hearing with what they're like supposed to be.
A little bit like if I'm counting switches out on my desk and you started just throwing random numbers in, like 27, 42, 61, 92, 48, 27. I'm going to lose count at some
exactly.
Point, right? I assume it's a similar sort of tactic. Yeah.
And I've never really seen anyone in person that has been able to like count efficiently while being distracted, because knowing how to count cards is easy. Anyone can learn how to count cards. Being able to actually process the information at a really high speed is what separates beginner card counters from high level card counters.
Sure.
Just like I know how to count cards, but I've never actually done it because A, I just get kicked out of the casino, and B, I'm not smart enough to, or I'm not smart and or practiced enough to be able to actually do it efficiently.
Got you. See, we're learning new things, guys. We're learning about counting cards on
a keyboard stream. And somehow we still have like 70 viewers. I'm surprised everyone hasn't left yet.
What if I took a little mechanical keyboard in and I just kept pressing buttons either left or right to keep count and had like a little display on it? Would that get me kicked out of the casino quite quickly?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know. I think the thing about counting cards is like it's not illegal, right? Like you can go into a casino and count cards. You're not going to get arrested. But the casino will probably throw you out if they catch you, and they'll probably ban you for life. And depending on what connections they have with other casinos, you might get banned for life from other casinos. Like there could be repercussions, like, but you're not going to get arrested. So like it's one of those things where I think it would be dependent on like that particular house, that particular casino, and like what their rules are. And I think they would be totally fine with throwing out someone like that. Personally,
Had a device that counted cards on the table. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, that'd be. I can't even really imagine that happening. It'd be so hard. Because like obviously every time a card comes out, your count is adjusted. Like it goes up or down, basically, and then you. This is a really vague explanation of how to count cards, but like there's like a base level count, and depending on which card comes out next, the count gets adjusted up or down, and then you make wagers. You make your bet based on what the count is, basically.
Sure. Yeah. So you've got a whole kind of you've got a count in your head. The higher the value of the count, the more likely a higher face card is going to come
exactly.
out. The lower the count, the idea, the more you're likely to get a 1 or something. So if you know the count's low and you're more likely to get a low number card, and then you get, I don't know, a jack, you might be looking for jack ace, playing blackjack. I assume you might feel that's a conversation, or vice versa, and you might expect 2 queens to come out because you know that a couple of face cards are coming, that kind of thing.
That's like the general kind of overview of it. Is like you minimize your bets on the hands that you're going to lose, and you maximize your bets on the hands that you're going to win. And because of the count, like what your odds of are getting a better hand, and so you adjust your bet accordingly. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of math you have to do in your head really fast, especially if you're up against like a really fast dealer. Like I don't want to brag, but I'm really good at my job. I'm a really fast card dealer, and most people can't count against me just because I am just that fast. So like when you're dealing out 10 cards a second or whatever, like you can't process that fast enough. Most people can't. And, to my knowledge, no one's ever successfully counted against me. But it's hard to know, right?
Yeah, but surely that's the aim of the card counters, right? They don't want you to know you've been counting. Yeah. They've been counting cards. So anyone who's successful against you, you'd never know, right? Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah. That one Brody is asking me when did I start playing? I started playing when I was 18. Because I entered the casino industry when I was 18, fresh out of high school, only like a month graduated from high school, and I've been in that industry ever since, and it's been on and off, but I've effectively been playing poker ever since, and I'm 31 now. I turned 32 in just a few months, and I've spent a lot of that playing poker, and kind of just understanding the ins and outs of cards and betting and the kind of whole casino industry, as it were.
Sure, makes sense. Curious Yellow says, I've probably not watched, because I've not watched Rounders, I've probably not watched Good Will Hunting, Dogma, The Rainmaker, or Jane Silent Bob. I have seen all of those other movies, most of them multiple times.
Those are some good movies.
Yeah, Dogma is amazing. Good Will Hunting is great film. Good Will Hunting was actually the first Matt Damon film I ever saw. Like, that was the first time I ever saw him in a movie. I saw it. I think I saw it at the cinema. 1997 rings a bell for Good Will Hunting. I'm pretty sure I saw that at the cinema in 1997. I think.
Damn, you weren't.
Chasing Amy's good. Yeah.
You must have not been very old then. Because I mean, you're only a couple years older than me, I think. So you were probably still
36 this month. 36 this month.
Chasing Amy. I haven't seen that one in a long time. Wow.
What was the Empire Records as well? That's the other one from that era that I love. Empire Records is a great film.
I haven't seen that one either, but I tend not to be.
Empire Records, man.
You know me, Jay. You know me. I'm not the movie buff. I'm not the movie guy. I'm not. I'm so disconnected with like pop culture and stuff like that.
That's what I said. Curious Yellow, 1997. I saw Good Will Hunting. I think that's when it came out, but I'd have to look it to check it out.
The Pokemon Kid is asking me, Brian, being a dealer, do you find it funny to look at people's poker faces while not actually in the game? I always found it hilarious when people get in the zone. Looking at people's faces while not actually in the game. Do you mean like not in that particular hand? Because like a lot of poker when you're at the table.
Means while you're dealing. I think it means while you're dealing. Do you see people? Can you tell when people have got a poker face or when they're actually got a good hand?
Sort of. I mean, a lot of poker is reading people, right? Is like, and most people will try to put on the poker face so that nobody can quote unquote read them. But a lot of people still have like these small tells, like specific things they do, like For example, just like a really basic thing, like a basic thing, like super basic, honestly. This is, but like if someone bets, like let's say you're in a hand and someone bets and they bet like a big stack of chips. For example, it doesn't matter what the amount is, but like they bet a big stack of chips and it falls over. Let's say it just falls over and it kind of makes a mess, right? If someone corrects that stack, they have a higher chance of being more confident about their hand. It's like fundamental almost. And there's a lot of like really simple like small tells. Like if people have to look at their hand multiple times, they might not be as confident in their hand. Like there's like all these like little tiny like tells that a lot of people do, just instinctually, even though they're not trying to. Like there's also like the way they talk. There's body language speaks volumes. It's a really complex game. Like it's so much less about the cards than it is like all the other variables, and that's what's always made it really interesting. Like for me, and like these are just like really basic. It gets a lot more advanced and a lot deeper. But like these are just like really basic things that like a lot of the books will teach you even.
Interesting.
Shout out to Super Systems 2, which is a really good book. Mostly headed by Doyle Brunson, who's obviously a very legendary poker player, but it has a lot of sections written by a lot of different people. Jennifer Harmon spends a lot of time talking about Limit Texas Hold'em, which is the game I've played the most. Really good stuff. There's an original Super Systems 2 as well, which came out I think in the 70s, but there's a much more newer and revised version called 2, just the number 2, Super Systems 2, that I highly recommend if you're planning on getting into poker.
Nice. Ying Yangin says, "Is this still a streamer for keeps?" It is, but we're
Yes.
taking a very, very much relaxed approach to it today. Today's stream is actually dedicated to a dear friend that we've lost to mental health, Mountain Blocks. But we're just taking a very much a case of where does chat take us? What does chat want to know about us? And Brian is a dealer at a casino, and that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, we've touched on a few topics already, but yeah, like Jay mentioned, this is just kind of a casual, chill chatting stream. It's kind of a mental health check for both Jay and myself, as well as potentially any of you. And we're like you can see at the bottom of the screen, where we talked a little bit about Mountain Blocks and some of the amazing, awesome goodness he's done for the community. He took his life not too long ago because of mental health issues, and we're kind of trying to honor that a little bit and shed some positivity for people that might be also suffering from mental health issues. But the last 10 or 15 minutes, you guys have just been learning a lot more about my life, I suppose. But that's just how the conversation, I guess, has kind of gotten to. So I apologize to any of you guys that are only here for keyboard stuff. We've talked very little about keyboards today, and we can absolutely talk a little bit more about keyboards during the Q&A, which we'll do in just a few moments. But if all you want to do is watch keyboard stuff right now, I think there's probably other streamers on. But we appreciate everyone that's staying here with us because, obviously keyboards are really important to us, and it's why all of us are here right now, to be honest. But, at the same thing, it's not the only thing in life, and, everyone needs to know that as well. And even though we are primarily a keyboard show, and we will continue to be a keyboard show, it's nice to talk about other things as well, because we want you guys to be here not necessarily just for keyboards, but because of Jay and myself and our personalities and who we are and what we represent.
Sure.
That's why we want you guys to watch us, hopefully. And if it's not your thing, totally fine. There's lots of other amazing streamers out there as well.
100%. And speaking of, Baron from Smith and Rune asks, I want to know your thoughts on the new 400ZJ. So I like the car overall. I think it's really interesting. It's good to see Nissan go back to its Datsun historic days of the Fair Lady and everything else, like the one that I own. That you can very much see the lines and the inspiration of that, but much more modern version. There are some things I dislike about the car, though. The first one is that front grille, and if anyone has seen this, that front grille does not look good on that car. They need to update that. There needs to be a facelift version, is my view. But
400.
I might buy one. I might buy one. Like, I already have a test drive booked when they become available here in the UK. That's already a thing. I've already done it. I'm a big fan of the Z series. I own multiple Datsuns now. I've had the Z a long time. I spent a long time restoring it. I've owned 350, 370Zs as well. I don't own either of them anymore, but I have owned them in the past. I will 100% be test driving that car, and if I like it, I will put a deposit down on it. But they need to do something about that front grille. And I have seen some aftermarket body kits already be started to be produced and be designed, so there will be ways and means of fixing it.
Is it bad that I kind of don't mind that front end? I'm not a car
Dude,
person, obviously, but
it's not the front end I dislike. It's just that
just
grill.
the grill.
Like the front end around the headlights and everything else. I love that. I just
looks
don't
good.
like that grill at the front. It's too deep. It's just too deep. That's the issue.
Yeah. Well, could you just take that out? I mean, obviously, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but could you like take that out and like replace it with a mesh and just like because what's behind there? It's gonna be like your intercooler or something, right?
There'll be the coolers and stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't looked under the engine base. I don't know exactly, but it will be the coolers and stuff most likely. There will be aftermarket versions that you'll be able to replace that whole front end with, and you'll be able to put something different in there. But what I'd like to see is something around the bumper, maybe as just to pull it across that front a little bit nicer. I don't know. Like there are people working on aftermarket kits because it's most people's downfall with the car. So we shall see. But it'll be on my Insta stories when I drive one. So you guys will see it, and you guys will see my first hand impressions of it.
I'm excited. I want a full story of you in this car driving it.
100%, man. It'll happen because yeah. Cars are my big passion outside of keyboards. I have six right now, six cars. It's not as many as I used to have. Actually, the most I've ever had at any one time was 11 cars in my collection. That was the most I've ever had at any one single given time. It was 11, but right now I have six. And I've owned over 50 cars. Like, man, vehicles are just my jam. Like, it's just something I love. Matt, actually, the Pokemon Kid, he says, about to ask how is the new car running. The new one, the new Datsun, is actually running great. The only thing is, I need to go through the whole UK registration process because I imported it from Asia. So I'm just going through that process. So it literally goes in for the test to make sure it's legal on the road so that everything is fine and safe on it on Tuesday. Following that, I can then submit all the paperwork to the government and register it correctly, which will take about 6 weeks. So hopefully by the back end of April, it'll actually be on the road. And in the meantime, there's a few jobs I want to do. Speaking of which, Pokemon Kid, there is something that you will like that I kind of half DM'd you about earlier on. So check your DMs and I will show you something that you'll like that I'm putting in the truck as well. So yeah.
Jigsaw State says, I expect a TikTok with your hair blown back, smiling ear to ear, driving the 400Z. Or 400Z, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, ZZ, it's fine. Whichever you say, it's just like a pronunciation thing. That was
just a meme for you. I'm sorry. That was in poor taste. If I could take it back, I would.
But yeah, I not a TikTok, but I will. I like if people don't know, like on my personal Insta, I post 20 minutes worth of Insta stories every day based on what I'm working on and what I'm doing. Like
that's cool though. Like the look into people's like lives, like for personalities that you like or follow. I think that's a really cool thing. Like it's so much more connected, which is something I've always been about too. Because like I wouldn't want people to think that I'm someone I'm not. So like I like being transparent and being myself. And at times this you get the me that is in mental anguish, and like you get the me that is struggling and having these issues. But on the flip side, you get the best parts of me as well. And that's kind of what I like out of my personalities and content creators and stuff. The people that I watch.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And like I enjoy doing the Insta stories as well. Like they help me write my to-do list in the morning because I talk about what I'm going to do and then I write my to-do list afterwards. It's really helpful and therapeutic to me. But Pokemon Kid, I've just sent you the image of what I've got. These are the internal door cards that are going to go on the truck. So I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the new truck I picked up is a Datsun 620. It's from the 1970s. It's amazing. It's bright blue. It's like this electric blue color. And then for the internal door cards, the cards that sit on the door, it has black ones at the minute, and they're fine. But I wanted to put something a little bit more special there, so I commissioned a new set being made with the whole Japanese Great Wave kind of theme being on them. I've just sent the image to the Pokemon Kid. In fact, Brian, I'll send you the image as well, so you can have a look. This is what's going to be on the inside of the doors. in the near future.
Remember,
But it's like the whole Great Wave Japanese kind of
okay.
artwork that's going to be on the inside of it.
Is it something you want me to show on stream? Because I can't
Yeah,
actually.
you're
I
welcome to show
can't.
on stream. Yeah.
I can't adjust Discord right now, otherwise it'll severely mess up the cameras and it'll show our private chat. um, but yeah, I'll take a look at that later. Unless you want to share it in the Twitch chat, in which I can open it on stream a bit easier.
Yeah,
But
let me.
since
Let
I
me
do
see
a
if
full
that
crop from
works.
Discord, so if I check on our Discord right now, then it'll completely destroy everything that's shown on screen.
Okay. Let me see if that'll work. If I paste the link from Discord, I don't know if that works.
It's fine.
But those are the internal door cards that are going to be
This
on
should
there.
work. This should work. Hold on. Let me just. There we go. Okay. Wow. That's super cool.
And if anyone wants to see the truck, that's the truck outside my workshop.
Oof. What a beauty.
Yeah. So that's the truck, and then the door cards. They're just black at the minute. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. But I wanted some special ones commissioning and putting on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think now's a good time to talk very briefly about our sponsors before we move over to a bit of a Q&A where we can talk about whatever you guys want, of course. Ask questions away. If you want to talk about keyboards, let us know. If you have keyboard-related questions, ask away. If you have other questions, still ask away. And we will get to them presently. But thank you all so much for sticking around thus far. We very much appreciate it. It's honestly like really humbling having you guys here. So just wanted to say before we move on, just thank you personally. Thank you so much. Anyways, to the one, the only, the legendary Novel Keys. Lots of things going on right now. Couple GMK things going on right now as well. GMK Striker 2. It's back. If you missed it the first time, bam. Here's your chance to get it again. And I actually like this set a lot more this time around because I've been learning Japanese lately. Specifically, I've been doing the hiragana alphabet. So this actually makes a lot of sense to me now. And it makes me a little bit more interested in Japanese sub-legends. So cool to see Striker run again. So there you go. If you missed out on that, bam, it's up again. Also GMK Color Chrome, which is a really interesting new set. Which is kind of that black and white monochrome vibe, but gives it a bit of splash of color, particularly in the mods. Very, very interesting. Nice stuff there. They also have lots of new stuff going on, including the Novel Keys box cream switches and the Novel Keys stabilizers, both of which I think are actually sitting in my mailbox right now because Mike was nice enough when I asked him to send some over. So looking forward to checking those out. I'm going to go grab them right after the stream, actually. And definitely looking forward to that. But lots of other things going on. If you want desk mats, you want lube, you want stabilizers or, all that good stuff, it's probably here. And if it's in stock, you can use the promo code Clack, and that'll get you 5% off. And it'll also tell Mike that you might love us even just a little bit.
Nice. Moving on to our second sponsor of the day, it is Kono.store. These guys have got a load of things going on right now, but two key sets I want to draw your attention to. The first one being GMK Yeti, based on Yeti and all the kind of ice kind of sculpture stuff and everything else. It's kind of got a very cool theme, but a very cute theme at the same time. Really interesting use of that whole gradient set going from Snow White across to Icy Blue. If this is your thing, if you guys like something really cute and really fun, then this might be for you. It could look great on a blue board.
Just an adorable
and the
set.
desk mats as well. The dark desk mat is one of my favorites. So definitely check that out. As well as that, there's also GMK Star. I'm pretty sure the inspiration behind this might be Patrick. I'm surprised this one got screwed by, but it's there. And if you guys are interested in supporting this set, you can go check it out. It has got a ton of compatibility in the base kit and a few other things as well. So definitely check it out if you're interested in those colors. It's not one for me, but I imagine that there'll be a lot of people out there that love that kind of set. Finally, don't forget to check out the Hex Gears X1, which is a great entry-level keyboard. There's a ton of features to it. I won't bore you guys with all the details, but it's there on the site. It's in stock. You can go and check it out, and it might be a great starter board for someone just getting into the hobby. Might be a great board for you to pick up as a work board or something else as we start going back to the office. Definitely something to check out if you want that kind of board as well.
Yeah, completely agree. Moving over to KBD fans, they have a lot of interesting things going on right now as well. So the Epoch 80%, something a lot of people have been waiting for, finally available. They have some in-stock units as well as the pre-order. So whether you want black, gray, or E-white, you can pretty much get it here. You can get the normal layout or win keyless in some of them, I think. Oh, wait, maybe the win keyless is over. My bad. But you can still get the TKL format, the standard format, and it does look pretty nice. I forgot who it was. I think it was it Pusho that was sharing his Epoch that he built on stream recently. I could be wrong with that. I forgot who it was, but I saw one of these recently. Someone posted pictures in our Discord link below, and it was looking pretty darn nice. I'm really interested in checking one of those out. So if someone needs one built, let me know. I'd be interested in checking that out. They also have the D45, which is kind of interesting, almost like a sort of like a TMO 50 inspired kind of board. Nice kind of 45 or 50%, I guess, if you will. A lot of interesting features and some interesting configurations, and it doesn't cost terribly much either. So that's a pretty interesting looking board that's up for pre-order right now. They also have EPBT Grand Tour, which is not based on the Jeremy Clarkson show Grand Tour.
Tasty.
It's actually based on the route that the Voyager 2 took, to explore some outside planets. So this is a really interesting set as well. I feel like this kind of flew under the radar, but it's something I'm actually rather interested in, particularly based on the theme. They also have GMK Iceberg. It's still going on right now, and if you're maybe new to the community, this is not a bad place to start because they have pretty much anything you can want for keyboards. They have, PCBs, plates, cases, fully assembled boards, numpads, keycaps, stabilizers, switches. It's more or less a one-stop shop these days, and there's pretty much something for everyone, especially if you don't want to spend a ton of money, but you still want something pretty decent.
Ooh, very nice.
Moving over to our final sponsor of the day, it is Mechanisk.co. So this is the wonderful Leandrin. Now the site is down at the minute. But that's not a bad thing because Leandro's got so many new things coming. He's just been moving property. He's been moving his store into a physical shop in
Oslo,
Norway. Where's the shop? What's the town?
It's
where
in
the shop is?
Oslo. I'm pretty sure it's in Oslo.
Oslo. That's correct. Yeah, that's right. No, I'd forgotten for a second, but yeah, it's in the capital of Norway,
awesome.
Oslo. So he's moved into that location now, so he's all ready and good to go, which means that the website will be back up soon. But when the website does come back, he's going to have a load of stuff in stock that's going to be shipped directly from his store. He's going to be in a great position to help us understand what's going on with Mechanisk going forwards and bringing us all those lovely keyboards. I know there's another round of the Fiel coming, another round of the Tinned coming. There's also the Tinned TKL coming. There's desk mats, there's keys, there's key switches. There's all sorts of different things coming. So definitely keep your eye out on Mechanisk.com because there's loads of things coming in the next few months.
Yeah, I think he also just landed a nice deal with DHL, so maybe we're going to be seeing some pretty nice shipping options in the near future.
Nice.
So that's
always
cool
good
too.
as well.
Yeah.
Really excited to see what comes out from him this year. I think it's going to be a good year. And just before we go back to the stream as well, big thanks to Vogon PT for the 500 bits as well. It's late to the stream, but I hope everyone is doing well mentally too. So thanks very much for that, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, good to have you, Vogon. Thank you so much for the bits. Hope you're staying healthy as well. Vogon's another one of the genuine awesome people that PMs me randomly asking if I'm okay, and it's nice to have people that kind of understand what others are going through, and they realize it's not an easy path, and we all need someone in our lives.
100%.
Right. With that in mind, guys, let us know. You ask some questions, keyboards or otherwise. Feel free to tag us at TopClack. Makes us a little bit easier to read the questions. But yeah, let's get
Curious
back to
Yellow
chat.
said the Dolch inspired board looked like an Amiga board.
What's an Amiga board?
Did you guys not have the Amiga in the US?
It's very possible we did. I might just not know what it is. Hold on, doing a brief.
It was like
brief search.
it was a kind of like a cross between a PC and a games console that was popular in the late 80s, early 90s. But I think what he's referring to is he thinks it looks like the keyboards that you used to get with them, when it very much looks more like a Dolch pack than an Amiga.
I have to look at what this is now. No, I'm just really curious.
You must have seen them before.
I
You must
probably
have had them in the
have, but
US.
it's...
It was the Commodore Amiga.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, okay. Here, Commodore Amiga 500.
yeah, we used to have not the 500. I think it was a 2000 I had growing up. I think.
I'm seeing a lot of different keyboards. Well, sort of, for this,
I
but
think I'd have to look.
I don't know. Anyways. I'm gonna scroll
Yeah.
back in chat, because I completely missed what a lot of people said here.
Yeah, it was hugely popular back in the early 90s. Man, that was good times.
Deported Village Idiot. Thank you so much for the Prime. 11 months. Thank you so much.
Oh man, I've just been looking at the Amiga, and guys, look how cool the keyboard is with this. Look, take a look at that picture and look at how cool the keyboard is with that. That is so cool.
Yeah. I might as well show this one off, actually. That way people don't feel the need to click on the link. Look at that.
Look at that keyboard. How amazing is that layout?
That's... Is this like the HHKB before the HHKB?
Yeah, right. Look at that. And is that a 9U spacebar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9U spacebar, two 1.25U keys on either side. ISO, but with a kind of like a weird extended. The modifiers on the left are wider than they should be. It has a numpad. Look at the arrow placement. It's like a TKL. It's like a full size, but with the TKL cluster missing. That's so cool. F-row keys are 1.25U long. I love that layer. That's awesome.
This is quite a board, that's for sure.
That looks like it might even be MX compatible. Like, right?
You think? It could be, yeah. Does anyone out there know what switches these came with? I'd be curious to know.
It is. I found a picture of it. This is a forum. So I have a couple of old Commodore keyboards from prior to this, but if you look on that link there, dude, they take that exact same ISO one out, and look, it's MX black switches. It's MX black switches.
All right, interesting. Are you gonna be on the hunt for one of these now, Jay?
100%.
I feel
I'm
like
100% going to be trying to find one of these on eBay.
I feel like your eyes lit up when we started talking about this.
Like, dude, look at that. Look where caps lock is and control. It's got control in the right place, and caps lock's right next to it. That feels a little bit dangerous, but hey, that's cool as hell.
It's certainly interesting. Rodactus.
Brian does not like this as much as I like it.
I think it's cool. I don't know. I have like no nostalgic collection to this, so it's like my first time seeing it. And I've seen a lot of vintage boards, and a lot of them are really cool, but like until I see it in person and I feel it in person, I'm not quite sold on it yet. But
Sure.
that's just
I hear you.
That's just me.
I hear you. What you're saying to me really is you don't have the same taste as I do.
Well, maybe if you had
maybe
if your hair was covering one of your eyes right now, I'd like it a little bit more. Redactus in chat is asking, any thoughts on the Gazoo Bubblegum Silent Linears? I have not tried the Bubblegum Silent Linears. How about you, Jay?
No, I haven't tried them. No.
Vogon says he still has an Amiga 500.
Nice. Send me the keyboard, dude.
Jay's feeding for this keyboard.
It's not the same one. I have some old MX compatible. Well, they actually have MX black switches in, but I have some old Commodore Amiga with the two left-hand macro columns and stuff like that on, and they're amazing. But I didn't realize that Amiga did this particular board. I don't remember it.
Brody is saying, like seeing a kid in the candy store when Jay saw this board.
Oh, dude,
I saw the
love
fire in his
vintage
eyes.
boards.
It was like a twinkle.
Like vintage keyboards are what drives me in this hobby. Like, sure, I have a lot of modern day boards, but vintage boards where I think there's so much style and choice and design kind of stuff that we just missed out on.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting that you bring that up because, and I've probably mentioned this before, but like at meetups, the vintage stuff is what interests me the most. Like I'm walking around and I'm seeing all these super high level customs with fancy switches and GMK caps and all this stuff, and that's cool. But then you come across a vintage board, you're just like, what the hell is that? And like you start to inspect it, type on it, look at it, hear it, and it's like it's such an interesting, fun throwback that like you just wouldn't really get to experience otherwise. Big fan of that.
Yeah, I found one on eBay. I don't think it's the MX compatible one, but I did find one on eBay.
Rob27 Shred says, plus the thrill of the hunt with vintage keyboards. Yeah, a lot of people are into that.
For sure. Yeah. The one thing I'm trying to do in vintage keyboards right now is collect a lot of the old die subsets. The die subsets and the double shot sets from old Cherry boards. So I'm trying to do all of the EU languages that they did. So far, I have UK die subs and double shots. I have French die subs. No, sorry, I have French double shots, but not French die subs yet. I have Belgian, both double shots and die subs. I have German double shots and die subs, and I'm just trying to work through all of those different languages and trying to get them. I've got Czechoslovakian double shots and die subs, and I'm just trying to get one of each in each layout in each language. So double shots and die subs in each language.
Heck yeah, man.
That's my current keyboard aim.
You're the collector I aspire to be, Jay.
It gets hard sometimes, like just remembering what you're buying and whether you need that one or you need a different one. Like it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really difficult.
I agree. Curious Yellow says, I kind of miss the old Solaris keyboards. Either of you got one? I have never even heard of that. I guess I'm looking up something else now.
No, never heard of the Solaris ones, but Solaris. Don't show me, because if you show me, Brian, I'm going to want it.
Or I won't show you, but I want to look it up myself. And then of course I'll show you, so you have to buy one. All right. Oh, here we go. I think. Wait, is it also known as the Sun Type? Sun Type 7? I'm seeing a couple different names for this. Kajata is saying he worked at Sun, still have a Type 5C. Okay, so interesting. So Sun is, I assume, the company that makes the Sun Microsystems. Okay.
Okay, I know Sun Microsystems, yeah.
Here's the Type 6, the Type 7. Interesting. Type... What are we looking for? Type 5?
Curious Yellow's put a link into chat. Oh, I know the keyboards you mean. Yeah, so the big old battle station style ones. Yeah, with the macro columns. Yeah, there's a few keyboards that had that kind of layout and aesthetic. The M122 and stuff like that as well. Some really cool keyboards. Really cool stuff out there.
Yeah, this is a keyboard. Holy man, that is quite a battle station.
Gotta love those old battle station boards.
They're pretty cool. I mean, I would never use them just because I have very limited desk space and these things are monstrous. I tried using even just a Model F for a while, and it took up like my entire desk, and it was a little too much. But I like owning this kind of stuff, or at least checking it out at meetups.
Man, there's so many good old keyboards out there. So many good ones.
Yeah, and like there's like a lot of them are really hard to find, but like it's so cool to witness all this like history that like you wouldn't really ever be able to like see anywhere else, And like there's just so many random things from random companies throughout decades and decades, and it's like, I don't know. As far as like keyboard collecting goes, I think collecting vintage stuff is way more interesting than collecting like brand new customs.
Well, I mean, there's some stuff out there that like people find and no one's ever seen an example of it before. Like they just find something. It's like, what's this? And it's like no one's ever seen it before. Like the original Handabite board and everything else. Like there's so many cool boards out there.
Yeah. Redactus is asking, when will we see an NK-122 battle cruiser board? How interesting would that be? A novel keys, like battle station keyboard, bringing vintage layouts to the modern era. Jay, what do you think about that?
Hey man, I did the Hyper 7, so
That's
like
true.
100% my bad.
I know exactly how you feel about that. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Silicon graphics keyboards. Yeah, I have a couple of the Silicon graphics keyboards. Both of them are Alps variants. One is Amber Alps. I can't remember what the other one is. But both have the granite key set on. But sadly, they only ever did them in Big Ass Enter and ANSI, so I don't have an ISO set because I was going to use one of those sets on my Heine TKL1 when I build that with Alps. But I think I'm going to have to build it ANSI. I don't think I have a choice because I can't find a good ISO Alps key set that will work with it. Even the Dell AT102s and stuff like that, they just won't work with that because of the position of the ISO enter is really weird on them, and it doesn't work with the footprint in the H87A that comes with the Heine TKL1. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to build that board as ANSI.
The struggles of being Jay.
I know, I know.
Will you be okay? Will you be able to type on it?
I'm using an ANSI board right now, dude. Like, right now.
Are you feeling okay?
But ANSI
Oof. Wait, which board is that?
F1AX.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I know
Yeah,
you're
it's a
uh
lovely
you're
board.
you're a big fan of that board. Is that like the board right now for you?
Yeah, it's not left my desk since I built it like 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago.
And it's ANSI, and you wow, Jay, I'm impressed.
Yeah,
That board
like
must
it
really be
just,
something. Yeah.
dude, I love this board. It has just stopped working now that I've lifted it up.
Uh oh.
I think it's died. Like I've unplugged it and replugged it back in. I think it's died.
Uh oh. Not
Oh
like
no,
this, Jay.
I've
Not,
killed it.
not like this.
It was on my desk for the last 8 or 9 weeks since I built it, but now it's gonna have to be changed for something else.
Oh no.
Um, ri-
Pokemon Kid is asking what your Grail vintage board is, Jay. His is the
I
ISO
don't have.
IBM SSK.
I mean, that's a great board. Like I don't have one particular vintage board that is my kind of grail. There are lots of boards that I would love to have. A cherry battle cruiser board, like an M122 style board. I can't remember the code of it off the top of my head. That would be something that I would absolutely love to have. Um, but like, there's probably 30 or 40 that I would love to have. Like, I couldn't tell you one particular one and pick it up. It's because you talked
Yeah.
bad about ANSI that it's died. No, I think it's actually so. In the interesting thing is that the PCBs that the F1 comes with, I think it's a Snow PCB. It's never been great. Like when I first built it, it had issues when I was testing it before I built it. I suspect it's just that I've knocked the USB cable and they're just a really finicky type of PCB, and it's just not having it. Like it's just not reconnecting to Windows at the minute. So. Yeah,
Does
I will fix it later on. I do have a replacement PCB for it, so it's fine.
does that board happen to support the like the Heine Bush PCB?
Yeah, you can use like a H87A and stuff like that in it as well. So that
Nice,
is
nice.
ultimately the plan. Although I gave away the PCB that I was going to use in this to Yanka because he wanted one. So I gave him that a couple of weeks ago, and because this one was working just fine, so I'm going to have to buy one now.
Yep. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Vogon
Yeah,
says, "Jay with Ansi, what has this world become?" Come on, Vogon, you gotta sort out your friend here.
I have more ISO boards than ANSI boards. Let's be honest, I have way more. Like one. And I have multiple of these ones as well, so I can absolutely build one in ANSI and one in ISO. And in fact, my keycult, which is on my desk as well, is ISO. So I do also have a keycult on my desk right now that's in ISO. Let me see if I can lift this up.
Was it the Phantom one that you did recently?
Yeah, so this is my ISO keycult Phantom Edition.
Unreal colors too on that board. So
Oh, it's
so
it's
beautiful.
it's stunning, absolutely stunning. So there we go.
Yeah,
Although it too needs a replacement PCB. Luckily, Wilbur has now done a PCB that fits in that board that's ISO compatible, and
nice.
Salvan is going to send me one. So
Nathan Hua is asking, is that Nightbot supposed to say beer? He's referring to our bear
no, it says
Nightbot
bear.
command. It says
Yeah,
bear. That's all you need to know.
it says bear.
It says bear.
100% it says bear. That's not a typo.
Yep. If you were there for the inside joke, then you were there, and if you weren't, then you weren't. And unfortunately, that's how it's going to be left.
Yeah. Redactis says, if brain machine ever become really good and convenient, would you give up input devices? So I think he means like if you can control machines with your brains. I don't think so. I like having a manual input device, but that's just me. I suspect in 30, 40 years time, we will have moved on somewhere to something different.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, actually. I I would, I mean, I would like to say something like keyboards will always be a part of my life, but at the same time, like if the technology is that cutting edge, I'm really interested to see how controlling things like cerebrally or whatever would
Yeah.
go. Like that would be something I'm really interested in. And if it's like really convenient and inexpensive and it's really cool tech, then who knows? I don't know what the future holds, right? I don't want to. I'm not going to pretend like keyboards will be it for the next 60 years or whatever, right?
You see, you say this, but like there's still a lot of old technologies that are manual that are still used today. So, for example, in
Totally.
t-shirt printing, you could go the whole new method, and you could have t-shirts printed on an automated machine. It spits the t-shirt through a roller, it prints the pattern onto it. You've got a t-shirt that works at the end. But there are still thousands of companies worldwide that do old screen printing style processes onto t-shirts, like Mountain Blocks did. So there is something to be said for the old school way of doing things that people just like.
Absolutely. And
And people
obviously,
love.
I'm not against it. I mean, I'm here and I'm into keyboards, right? Like it's something I like and I've been passionate about in my life. But like at the same time, like I don't really know like what keyboard tech is going to look like in 20, 30, 50 years. Right? We don't really know what input devices are going to be like. I have a hard time believing that in my lifetime, before I die, we're going to have something that's like truly groundbreaking, like for the masses, like on a consumer level of people being able to control all these things,
I don't know, man. Like,
with their brain.
I think we're not far away from being there. I mean, look at how input devices have changed.
You
Most people
know,
type these days with their thumbs on a screen. That's when 90% of typing happens for most people. Um, I think that we'll definitely have new technologies. I think there'll still be that whole kind of subgenre of people who like a keyboard. Coders and developers will still like input methods that are reliable and useful and that they're in control of. But I think that a lot of it will move away from that.
yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because, like, like 20 years ago, for example, like I thought everyone was going to be in flying cars by now, right? Like we grow up as kids and we think about like what the future is going to look like and like
Jetsons, right? Yeah.
how like yeah, exactly, and like how like technologically advanced we're going to be. Obviously, it's moving forward. It's always moving forward. But I thought there was going to be like way more like enormous changes by now in technology, and I think obviously the potential is there, and I'm sure the technology is even there right now to have devices that can be controlled mentally,
Sure.
even at the consumer
Yeah.
level perhaps, but like I don't know. I can't see it being like a mass produced consumer grade thing anytime soon. But who knows? Obviously, I don't have all the answers. I can only guess, just like a lot of other people. I would love to be proved wrong, though. I would love to see all this new tech because technology is what a lot of us are interested in. I came before keyboards. I was really into computers, and technology is something that we more or less live and breathe on a daily basis. I mean, how much time do you spend with technology in your hand and at your fingertips and thinking about it? So I'm certainly interested. I'm really interested to see like what becomes of it, but I don't know. Would I give up all input devices? Who knows? Is it going to be that easy? Is it going to be that convenient? Is it going to be that economic? Perhaps. So I can't say yes or no, but I'm always
We
on the
should we'll,
lookout.
we'll have to wait and see, I guess. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Vogon says, yet here we are talking about 1990s vintage boards and people using them and collecting them. Yeah, but I mean, they're
Oh, dude, I have boards going back to like 70s. Like, I have some really vintage stuff in my collection.
yeah, but this is all on like, and I'm not trying to be mean about this or anything, but like this is all on like a collector's level, right? Like you're not using a board from the 90s because it's more functional or more advanced than what we have today. You're using it because it's a cool vintage piece that you've collected, and that's fine. That's totally great. But there are probably more advanced and better input devices that you could be using, other than a 1990s board or a 1980s board or a 1970s board, right? Like, you're not using it because it's cutting edge. You're using it because it's a cool collector's item and it's part of your collection. And there's
100%.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
The most high-tech military platform in the world uses an IBM M122, says Jax. Do you know what, dude? I would believe it. Some of those old IBM buckling spring boards are amazing. I've got a couple of them. In fact, I've got a military edition of that board. It's military drab green, and I love it. It's great. It's great.
Yep. Yep. Nothing wrong with that. Or self-driving cars. I don't think we're too far off self-driving cars.
I mean, that pretty much is here, right? You can buy a Tesla today, which will drive on autopilot in most places in the US and the UK.
That's true.
It's not a million miles away from being reality. We're right on the doorstep, on the cusp of that being a real thing. And do you know what? I'm considering getting a Tesla for the daily driver outside of business for me and the wife to share, because my Kia is now a couple of years old and it's time to get rid of it. I'm really considering getting a Tesla because I think they're amazing bits of engineering and technology, and they're green and everything else, and just using the new truck for the workshop. It's literally through that wall. It's in my workshop right now, and I just want to use it for driving around packages to the post office and stuff like that. But yeah, like I couldn't go away from having a manual car for fun. I couldn't do that. I'd have to have something raw and mechanical to drive, even if it's only once a month that I get out in it.
Yeah, totally understandable. Mart says, I think a few submarine is now Windows 7 now for some system. Yeah, so I mean, like, that's just like how long it takes to like mass move over to like something new, right? Which is why like people were still using Windows XP when Windows 10 launched. Like, a lot of like enterprise systems and a lot of like companies were still using XP because it was like, it had a foundation, right? It wasn't brand new. There weren't necessarily like issues, quote unquote. So like it takes a while.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I
Exactly.
still know businesses that are huge corporations here in the UK that work on Windows NT. They still use Windows NT to this day because it just works, and they pay Microsoft a stupid amount of money every year for support. That's a thing. It happens. It's cheaper to pay that support every year than it is to pay the one-off investment to upgrade. And it just because it's not just the system that they have to replace; it's all the supporting processes and programs that the business works on that they'd have to replace. Legacy systems are a massive earner for Microsoft. I think a lot of people miss that.
Just look, but this is what I'm saying though. Like, just look at how long it takes us to mass like adapt to like a new technology. Like Windows XP, that's like 15 years old now almost.
It's older.
No, sorry,
XP
Windows
was
7.
like
Sorry,
2000.
I meant 7. XP was 2001, I think. Yeah, but it's like, look, people are still using decades old operating systems because they just work for what they do, and they're too afraid, or they're unwilling, or like for whatever reason they can't adapt to the new thing. So like, we just haven't gotten there, and I think a lot of technology is like that too. Like, we use what we're comfortable with because it works and it gets the job done. But it takes a while to have literally everyone adapt to like something brand new.
Yeah, I was just looking at Windows NT, and that came out in 1993. So that just shows you how long ago that was.
Wow. I used to have
And
a
there was
laptop that had had Windows, like the consumer Windows 93 on it.
Yeah, and like I still know of large corporations here in the UK that use Windows NT on a daily basis to complete processing tasks because it's just cheaper to keep that running than it is to replace it and replace all the downstream systems that they would have to do to put something newer in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre when you think about it, but
Godders is saying, "Wake me up when we get to the point where a car can drive me home when I'm too drunk." I never thought about it before. That's a really good use for a self-driving car.
yeah, I think it's not legal right now because you have to be able to be in control of
I'm
a
sure,
Tesla on autopilot.
but I just mean like for the future, when like if self-driving cars become like the norm. I mean, how much better would that be? Like, you just trust your car to get you home versus like a taxi driver, for example, or like an Uber driver. The future is interesting. It's a very interesting place, and I'm very excited. All right. With that said, we've hit the 2 hour mark, so I think now's probably a good time to start wrapping up. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Should we talk about upcoming streams? Have you got any streams you're going to be doing this next week before the next show?
Lots of build streams coming up. Yeah. So obviously you alluded to the dual build stream we're going to be doing with the Dolingers, which is going to be pretty fun. We don't have a specified date yet. I'm going to be lubing those switches for that board very soon. The next stream I'm going to be doing is actually going to be the Evolve 75%. I should have done it a few days ago, but I was not in the right mindset to do a build stream that day, so I just didn't. Apologies for that, guys. But the Evolve 75, that's next up on my list. I need to do a little bit of prep for that one.
If you wanted, we could do a dual Evolve 75 build stream as well, because I have one right here.
Really? I think the dual stream
actually
came out really well last time, despite the obvious issues with the VODs. But the live stream itself, I think, went really well, and I think a lot of people liked it. And maybe we should try to do that more often. So we could
do that. We could get Nathan on as well. He could tell us about the board as we built it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a thing we could do.
That would yeah. We'll work on that. So that's going to be my next stream, because that's like next in my build queue. I still have my Prophet and my Heine TKL1 that I haven't built, just because I've been dealing with real life stuff the last few weeks. So there's those, and then obviously the Dolingers, and I think there's one more, but I can't remember. I'm like looking around at boards next to me because my office is just a disaster with open boxes of keyboards and switches like all around me. But yeah, I have that. I have lots of rebuilds I'm going to be doing. I'm going to basically be rebuilding my entire keyboard collection, like almost every single board. It's like a fresh start almost, right? That's kind of what I'm going for.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You can rebuild all my collection for me as well.
See, the thing about my collection is it's like realistic to rebuild, but your collection is pretty over the top.
I don't even know. I couldn't even start it. In terms of my build streams coming, I've got an Evolve 75 and a PC Dollinger as well to do. On top of that, I'm actually going to be building something a little bit different tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Sunday on my weekly build stream. I've got a low-profile board that I was sent through the post randomly. I didn't buy this. I was sent it to build on stream just to check it out. But it's low-profile with low-profile stabilizers and everything else. It comes as a complete kit. Completely took me by surprise when I got it in the post, but the maker has reached out to me and stuff. So I'm gonna be investigating, is low pro something for me, because I've not really used anything low pro for a while. So this is like low profile switches, but yeah, I'm really interested to do that this weekend. There's also the Keycult rebuild coming when I get the PCB from Salvan, and I've got a 45 ATS that I really want to build as well. I want to do another 40s build soon, so I've got a 45 ATS that I got I got it as a bargain. It was a bargain buy that I really want to build at some point soon too.
Nice. Curious Yellow says, "Love you guys." Thank you. We love you guys too. We honestly do. And he also says, "Wait, I thought we were all going to be doing the Matt Damon marathon before anything else."
That's just you, dude.
There's got to be.
You can go do that.
No, we need to do a watch party for Rounders. I am so down to do a watch party with that movie. There's got to be an easy way, like, for us to do it, like on Discord or something.
I think there is. There's multiple ways we can do it. Yeah, we can do a watch party on Discord at some point.
Yeah,
and we'll do it for Rounders. Yeah, maybe like Monday or Tuesday night we can make something work.
Yeah. I am totally down with that. We just need to figure out the best way to do it, because obviously having 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 people in a Discord channel is not necessarily the ideal way to watch something. But maybe if we just have everyone muted and we have like a dedicated text channel for it where they can talk about stuff like as we watch. Perfect. I think that might be better, because otherwise having like 30 people talking simultaneously while we're watching a movie might be really difficult. We'll Jay and I will work out some details. We'll figure this out. We actually want to do this. All right. Well, with that said, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I know it was kind of a I guess I want to say it was kind of a different stream, but I guess we have a lot of strange streams these days. But regardless, we appreciate you all for showing up. Shout out to Mountain Blocks. He was an awesome person in the community, and he was a great guy, and he did a lot of good. And we hope to remember him, and we hope you guys do as well. And make sure you're doing some mental health checks, for yourself and for others. You don't always have to be pushing forward as hard as you can. Life is very stressful, it's very brutal, it's very savage, but it's also very beautiful. And depending on the route you take, you're going to lead to different places. So make sure you're doing the mental health checks for you and others. Very, very important. We don't want to lose other people in the community, or even outside the community for what it is. So, again, thank you all for joining us. Check below the stream. You can find a link to our Discord as well as other stuff. You can come hang out in the Discord. And you can say something wholesome. You can just talk to people, hang out, and hopefully you feel welcome and supported, and you have a good time. Whether that's
Tell us what you had for dinner.
Otherwise.
Yeah, just simple stuff.
Just talk. Not everything has to be this or that or keyboards. Just we're all friends here. We're all family, and we're all here for the same reason. And we're not here to be hostile and toxic and have a bad time. That's not why any of us joined the community. So, keep that in mind, and let's watch out for each other moving forward,
100%.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts, Jay, before we find someone to raid?
No, just thank you very much to everyone for watching today. Please stick around for when we do the raid in a couple of minutes. We will need to say something really wholesome to whoever it is that Brian picks for us to raid. And just to shout out again, Mountain Blocks, thank you very much for everything you did for everyone in the community while you were around, man. We all miss and love you, and we're gonna miss you forever, man, and we'll never forget you.
Yeah. Shout out to Mountain Blocks, guys. Pour one out for the homie. He was a good man. All right, guys. We're going to be raiding. I'm looking. Sorry, guys. I'm looking to see who's raiding. Who we're going to raid right now. Metclicks is on. Let's see who else is on right now. Not very many keyboard streamers, so it might be Metclicks. It looks like. Let's check. I'm going to briefly check the just chatting category, just in case there are some other keyboard topics.
Metclicks is doing a subathon, so that's probably a good one to raid, actually, looking at that.
All right, so. We'll go with Metclicks, guys. He's super duper wholesome, really nice guy, and it's gonna be a nice raid, kind of going from wholesomeness to wholesomeness. So we love to see that. Super duper nice guy. So we'll go ahead and set that raid up right now. It's gonna take a minute to queue, because I wish Twitch didn't change the way raids work. Oh no, they moved it back. I can raid now. I don't have to wait. Oh, that's perfect.
Yay!
Oh wow. I don't remember when they changed that back. That's awesome though. Thankfully. All right, guys. Well, again, join the Discord link below. Come hang out with us. Tell us your troubles if you never need someone to talk to. Jay and I are always here, whether it's about keyboards or not. We try to do what we can, and there's a lot of other people in the community that also do that. So have a good one, guys. Cool. Let's head over and say something wholesome to Netflix. Good night, guys.